New French Extremity describes a subgenre of films known for their graphic depictions of grotesque gore, extreme violence, and strong sexual themes. Some entries in the genre are considered the most disturbing ever made, and you will surely find several on those disturbing movie icebergs. The film we will be discussing today, High Tension 2003, is regarded as a controversial entry to say the least. And after my first watch, I agree. It is also the first recommendation I got from you guys, so thank you all for helping me cross this one off of my watch list. I really appreciate it. I have so many thoughts about this movie, but before we get into that, hello, my name is Keishay, aka Shay, aka Shake and Bake, and welcome back to my channel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Of course, it helps the channel out a lot. And I am still looking for more recommendations. So if you guys have any, feel free to leave those down in the comment section below. Now, without further ado, let's get into the video. There will be major spoilers ahead. Major spoilers. So as always, here's a spoiler-free synopsis for the people who want to maybe watch this movie and come back to the video. I absolutely understand that. High Tension synopsis reads, best friends Marie and Alex decide to spend a quiet weekend at Alex's parents' secluded farmhouse. But on the night of their arrival, the girls' idyllic getaway turns into an endless night of horror. Again, this is your last chance to dip out of here before we get into spoiler territory. Now, with that being said, let's get into the breakdown. The movie begins with a bloodied and battered Marie running through the woods. When she finds the road, she runs into the middle of the street and is almost hit by a car. The driver swerves just in time, causing his car to stall, and Marie bangs on the window, begging the man for help. However, we see this is just a dream when Marie wakes up in the backseat of her friend Alex's car. She asks Alex for a cigarette and tells her about the dream that she just had. She tells Alex that she was being chased by somebody, and Alex asks her who was chasing her, and Marie says that it was her chasing her. So it was Marie was chasing herself. Alex jokingly asks Marie, can she have normal dreams? And Marie responds that being normal is boring. Sure. Marie offers to drive so Alex could get some sleep because they were out partying the night before. Alex declines the offer because Marie almost killed them the last time she drove because she was so drunk that she was falling asleep behind the wheel. And Marie blames Alex for her overindulgence, saying that she got drunk at the party because Alex decided to ditch her at the party for another guy. And she says that she hopes it was worth it. Alex says that he was in fact worth it and he was unbelievable. And Marie calls her a slut. And not in a fun, playful way. Like, she genuinely seems disgusted by the idea of Alex sleeping with some guy, almost like she's a little jealous. I know what you are. I see you. I know what you are. After this, they playfully trade names back and forth, and Marie gets in the front seat and they sing a song together, and it's really cute. Period. At the farmhouse, Alex's mom is taking clothes off of the clothesline and trying to convince her young son, Tom, to go take a bath before Alex arrives. But he doesn't want to take off his cowboy outfit. So she just gives in and tells him, like, go get in the tub and you can just put the outfit back on. Now, if that was my mama, she would have already been crashing out with her lips scrunched up like, what do I say? I'm like, okay, girl, calm down. But yeah, my mom, she wouldn't have been going for none. We cut from this to this Jeepers Creepers looking ass truck sitting in the cornfields nearby with an old man in it, and he is getting some, as the kids say, dome head. And when he finishes, he literally takes the head that he was using and dumps it out of the window and drives off. Hello? You see, French people, that's a whole different story. Later that night, Marie is driving, so Alex did wind up getting tired, but she keeps looking longingly at Alex. So again, we know what you are. It's very clear that she is in love with Alex, and the song that is playing on the radio can't make it any more clear. Like, the lyrics are so dead on. As they're pulling up to the farmhouse, Alex jumps up and says that she thinks that she saw someone in the cornfield. So she gets out of the car to go check, and Marie follows her to go see what it is. And she's better than me because I would not be doing that. I am a scaredy cat, especially if I'm out somewhere and I don't know where I'm at. Absolutely not. Marie calls out for Alex, but Alex doesn't answer. Then Marie hears the car start and she realizes that Alex pulled a prank on her. Now, I don't find shit like that funny. Okay? I do not like pranks. The most that I do to other people and I would accept back is like a scare, like you just jump out and scare me because I love scaring my mom because it's funny. But I remember one time when I was younger, well, I'm gonna say it like this. Do y'all remember when there was a trend like back on Vine days, I want to say, and boys were literally like drowning each other in their sleep, pouring water on each other? And I had like some boy cousins and I had spent the night over one of my cousin's house because it was his birthday. And I know that they do those type of pranks with each other. So I was like, I told them before I went to bed, I was like, I don't want to play y'all little game. So do not pour water on me while I'm asleep. I'm already a light sleeper and I don't like being woken up out of my sleep. And one of my cousins decided to try it anyway. So I just got up regular. I just made it seem like it didn't even bother me. And I went downstairs and I waited right until my cousin made him a nice bowl of Fruit Loops. And as soon as he took his first spoonful, I grabbed a full bottle of water, cracked it open and poured it on him while he was eating his cereal. He got an attitude and we started scrapping in the living room and the family had to break it up. And one of my cousins had to drive me back home. So I say all of that to say, I do not do pranks like this. Like, ain't shit funny. I would not be finding that funny at all.
That's a good joke, ain't it? Fuck out my motherfucking face. Ain't shit funny right now. I could tear down a fucking building.
But yes, Alex did get in the car and was like driving off and she had the nerve to laugh. I'm like, girl, this is not funny. It's the middle of the night and we in the cornfields, girl. That's not funny. Would have pissed me smooth the fuck off. Anyway, back to the movie. They make it to Alex's parents' house and her father welcomes them in, and the dog Hendrix, he's a big old doggy, but he's really cute, but he barks at Marie. And Alex just says, oh, he doesn't bite. He's really sweet, but girl, that's a big ass dog. I would have been scared. Alex shows Marie to her room and tucks her little brother into bed. Once they both get settled in, Alex makes them both tea and they discuss the guy that she's been messing around with further. Come to find out, this guy has a girlfriend.
Un mec pris, c'est qu'il est forcément bien. Enfin, moi, je me méfie toujours des mecs libres.
Girl, what type of backwards ass logic is that? You trust a man who's cheating on his girlfriend with you more than a single nigga that don't have no, like, girl, what? Anyway, I guess I see she going to the same Bird University, Bird Academy that Jules from What Keeps You Alive is going to, because that does not make sense at all, sister. But while they're on the topic of men, Alex keeps trying to convince Marie that she should start dating and give guys more of a chance, because if she doesn't, she's going to be alone. But we all know Marie couldn't give two fucks about a man because she's in love with Alex. It's almost embarrassing how many times lesbians fall in love with their best friends. Honestly, that's how I got my first girlfriend back in middle school. No shade. So I guess you could say I am a stereotype. But Marie ends that conversation quickly. She deads it and she's like, I'm gonna go outside, smoke another cig. Good night. See you in the morning. While Marie is outside smoking, she walks over and sits on the swings. And from there you can see into the bathroom window where Alex is currently taking a shower. First of all, who showers with the shower curtain open? That literally defeats the purpose of the shower curtain. Number two, floor finna be wet as hell. Okay. Now Marie is a pervert peeping Tom because she continues to watch. And then she's also a pervert for what she does after. Like, she goes upstairs and she's a little restless and I guess she's a little hot and bothered. So she, you know, downstairs DJs to some reggae music. And I'm like, okay, that's a choice, but to each his own. I guess the song still fits because again, the lyrics of these songs are very spot on. So it's like talking about you're just a girl. Like I want to be able to tell you whatever. I get it, but like reggae music. Okay. Also, doing that at your friend's parents' house is crazy. I think that's a little disrespectful. I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but that's a little...
You's a freaky ass nigga.
Bombastic side eye, sister. While Marie is flicking the bean, guys, I'm trying not to have YouTube take the fucking... I don't want them to age restrict my video. So while Marie is doing her thing, that Jeepers Creepers truck from earlier pulls up right in front of the door. The dog starts barking at the door and a man in a truck comes up to the door and starts ringing the doorbell over and over and over again. The father wakes up to answer the door and Marie comes out of her room to see what's going on. Marie runs to look out her window and sees the truck, and she sees the man hit Alex's dad in the face with something. The man breaks the window on the door and lets himself in, and yes, he does kill the dog, sadly. Then he forces the dad's head between the railing on the stairs and literally uses a dresser to knock that man's head off. Like, he decapitates him with a dresser. And all of that just like happened so fast. Like, it was It's crazy. All of the commotion wakes Alex's mom up, so she comes downstairs and finds her husband's body. The killer is still standing right there, and he sees her and attacks her as Marie runs back into her room. Marie finds a phone on the top of the dresser, and she tries to move the dresser to like plug the phone in and call the police, but she hears footsteps moving closer to her room, so she decides that she's going to clean the room up and make it seem like there's no one in there, and she packs all of her stuff and hides under her bed. The killer comes and looks through the room, checks the room, and he like briefly looks under the bed. He just kind of picks up the corner of the bed. I was in my head like, this nigga not looking hard enough. Like, how did you not see her? But he didn't see her because Marie curled up into a ball. I find that very unbelievable. I'm just going to leave it there. What I will say here, though, that I liked, I really loved the sound design. It does a great job at building the tension. There's a variety of anxiety-inducing sounds going on, and I think it's like a mixture of alarms going off and like ticking and just like fast-paced beats all up under that, and it's all happening at the same time. So it's like agitating, but also like building the suspense very well. So I really like that part of the movie. They did a good job with that because it kind of taps into that trauma of you hearing your alarm go off in the morning. Yeah, so I like that. When he doesn't find her, he leaves the room and he goes to Alex's room and puts a knife to her neck and chains her up. Marie is finally able to move the dresser, but the plug is not a phone plug, it's a TV plug, so she can't plug the phone in to call the police. Landlines, you know. So she decides that she's going to go into Alex's parents' room and find their phone, but when she gets in there, the phone is not on the receiver. Marie hears someone coming, so she hides in the parents' bedroom closet, and the person who was coming was actually Alex's mom crawling into the room. She grabs the phone off a shelf, but before she can even call the police, the killer comes in and slits her throat right in front of the... It's not funny. I don't know why I'm laughing, but... Sorry. Okay, she grabs the phone off of the shelf, but before she can make a call, the killer comes in and slits her throat right in front of the closet that Marie is hiding in, and he cuts her hand off. They don't show it, but the sound of it is enough. It sounds gross. When the killer leaves, Marie goes to check on the mom.
Lord, I'm having a heart attack. Damn, this is some scary shit.
The mom tries to say something to Marie, but you can't quite make out what she's saying. Marie grabs the phone and tries it, but it doesn't work. And then we see poor Tom is running through the house still with his little cowboy outfit on, and the killer chases him outside. Meanwhile, Marie goes into Alex's room, finding her chained and gagged on the bed. Marie runs in and tries to get the chains off of her, but they're locked on, so she can't really do anything. And as she's doing that, she hears Tom outside crying for his mom, and Marie goes to look at what's going on. She sees the killer shoot the little boy in the cornfield. That was very sad. And Alex hears the gunshots and breaks down crying. Basically, Alex's entire family, including the dog, is dead. Marie goes to calm her down, but Alex is not trying to hear that. I wouldn't be either. Also, Marie goes on to say, like, if the killer wanted to kill her, he would have already done it. And it's like, I didn't need to hear that. You know what I mean? Like, that is not helping. Marie then asks Alex where the other phone is, but Alex just keeps crying because she's too distraught. So Marie tells her that she'll be right back, and she goes downstairs into the kitchen and finds the other landline, but the phone line has been cut. The killer carries Alex to his Jeepers Creepers truck and puts her in the back. And Marie sneaks around the back of the house and sneaks into the back of the truck and prepares to stab the man when he comes to close the trunk, but he doesn't even look in the trunk. He just slams the door shut and gets in and drives off. So Alex and Marie are now trapped in the back of the Jeepers Creepers truck. Marie tries to find a way out of the truck while the killer is driving, and Alex starts crying again. So Marie tells her, like, hey, you know, be quiet. You're going to ruin our chances of getting out. And it's like, girl, fuck you. Like, he don't even know you here. Marie was getting on my fucking nerve. I can't lie. Alex is too distraught to even care about that. So she just lies down and continues crying and real. she's very real for that. I would be doing the same thing. Like, I'm literally gagged and bound in the back of a truck and you're telling me to shut the, like, please, not right now. Alex notices that there is blood on the top of the truck, but Marie tells her that the other girls were alone, but there's two of them, so they're gonna make it out. Okay, right. Right. The killer takes the photo that he cut out of Alex's family picture and puts it on his rearview mirror or the visor. I can't really tell what it is. And we see the other girls that we could assume the killer has done this to. Marie uses a knife and a key to like get the door open. I'm not totally sure how she did that, but sure. They notice that the killer stops and Marie looks out of the back window and sees that he stopped at a gas station. So Marie gives Alex the knife that she took out of the kitchen and sneaks into the gas station to tell the gas station attendant to call the police. The killer comes into the gas station and makes conversation with the attendant as Marie hides and sneaks around the store. The killer grabs a pair of sunglasses and tries them on, and the attendant notices that the killer has blood on his hands, so he starts to get a little suspicious. The killer puts the sunglasses back because he did not like the price tag on them and real. Then he asks the attendant to get him a bottle of liquor. And when the attendant goes to get the bottle of liquor, he like winks at Marie and the killer sees that. So once the guy grabs him some liquor, he stabs him with an axe and then steps on his back and pushes him further down on the axe for good measure. Brutal. Just imagine you just doing your little graveyard shift and some crazy nigga come in and kill you. I couldn't imagine. It's crazy. Marie hides in the gas station bathroom. The killer comes to pee, but he doesn't find her. So he gets in his truck and drives off, leaving Marie at the gas station. Marie calls the police finally, but she doesn't know which gas station she's in. So instead of her like saying, hold on and just going outside to see the name of the gas station, she gets an attitude with a 911 operator and hangs up. But the operator was low-key being a dick. Okay, so I get that, but like, girl, you gotta lock in, please. Marie grabs the attendant's gun and keys, takes his car, and follows the killer so that she can save Alex. Mind you, this movie takes place in the French countryside, so why the fuck does this man have a Confederate flag as his license plate? Like, am I missing something? French people, if I have any watching, let me know. What y'all know about the Confederate flag, please? Marie somehow catches up to the truck and follows him off-road with her headlights off so he doesn't see her. Marie loses sight of the truck somehow and it pulls up behind her and begins ramming her car. She grabs the revolver that she took from the gas station ready to shoot at the killer, but the killer is 2 steps ahead because he already has the bullets for the gun and he like drops them out of the window. The killer rams her car again and she loses control and crashes the car. Like, it is a crazy crash. She miraculously survives this crash and runs to hide in some greenhouses nearby. The killer follows her and searches for her with a flashlight, and Marie grabs a 2x4 out of the ground and wraps it in barbed wire WWE style. Okay, shout out to Mick Foley. And she follows the killer's flashlight to find him. Sadly, the killer is still 2 steps ahead. He hung his flashlight up on a string to make it seem like he was waving it around, but he was actually the one doing the hiding this time, and he pops up behind Marie and tries to suffocate her with some plastic. After she gives in, he lets her fall down on the ground and he begins to taunt her with this bitch ass shaving razor, asking her what she wants from Alex and if Alex turns her on. He then admits that Alex turns him on and he sticks his nasty ass fingers in her mouth, and I almost threw up in my mouth a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, that out of all the shit we done seen in the movie, that was probably the grossest thing we've seen so far. Ew. Marie grabs a nearby rock and whacks him upside the head with it, as she should. Then she grabs the 2x4 and gives him a couple whacks with that too. Surprisingly, that didn't kill him, so Marie suffocates him with the plastic this time, just like he just tried to do to her. After this, we cut back to the gas station and we see the police have finally arrived. The detective finds the dead attendant and tells the officer with him to call the DA while he goes to check to see if there's any camera footage of the murder. Yo. When he rolls this footage back, we see that the person who killed the gas station attendant wasn't some scary, crazy old man. It was, in fact, Marie. Yes, Marie has been the killer this whole time. And the crazy thing is that we don't even have time to unpack that because there's still some movie left. So we will get back to that. Marie's crazy ass makes her way back to this Jeepers Creepers truck to get Alex. Alex is rightfully terrified, like, this crazy bitch is back again. Damn. Like, she is not happy to see her. Marie unlocks the chains and takes the gag out of Alex's mouth, and Alex grabs that knife from earlier and starts swinging it around, yelling at Marie, telling her to get away from her. Marie is confused, trying to calm her down, telling her basically like, I killed the guy, like, we're safe, like, we're good. And Alex is like, bitch, I don't know what you're talking about, you're crazy, get the fuck away from me. Okay. As they're having this little standoff, we see flashes of Marie killing Alex's family, and Alex snaps and slashes Marie's face and stabs her and then runs away. Now we see that the killer man is actually just another personality of Marie. So she has a split personality situation going on. She, as the killer, grabs a buzzsaw out of the truck and begins chasing Alex through the woods. She's yelling at Alex that she's going to take care of her, and it's crazy and it's insane and it's actually very scary. When Alex makes it to the road, we see that that scene from the beginning of the film was actually Alex running out into the middle of the street, causing the car to swerve and the car stalling, and it was Alex banging on the window. So as the man is trying to get his car to start, Alex hops in his back seat. His car won't turn over, and Marie catches up with the buzzsaw and kills this poor man by sawing through his windshield, splattering blood everywhere. It's a bloody sight. And Alex is just screaming, losing her mind in the back seat. Marie then takes that buzzsaw and tries to use it to kill Alex, but Alex escapes out through the other side of the car after she grabs a crowbar out of the man's toolbox that he had on the floor. Alex tries to scoot down the road to get away, but she has a giant piece of glass stuck in her Achilles heel. She pulls out the glass very slowly, might I add, and they show it, and it is as gross as it sounds. But as she's doing this, Marie is slowly stalking her down the street, calling her names, taunting her. Then she begins to ask Alex if she loves her, and Alex desperately says, yes, yes, I love you, girl. I love you. You're my bestie. Love you. That seems to snap Marie out of this psychosis that she's in, and she finally puts the buzzsaw down and she goes in to kiss Alex, and Alex plays into it just enough to catch Marie off guard, and she stabs her with the crowbar in her shoulder. Marie continuously repeats that she won't let anyone come in between them anymore. Like, she's just days repeating it over and over again. Then we cut to a mental hospital, and Marie is cuffed to a bed with a giant scar on her face from the slash that Alex gave her. Alex is looking at her through a two-way mirror, and Alex asks if Marie can see her. And right then, Marie looks over to the mirror and reaches out for Alex, and then the movie ends. So we pretty much just watched a woman play hide and seek with herself for an hour and a half. That's what I got from it. Okay, I want to be transparent and say that the twist was spoiled for me because I was a kid who watched Watch Mojo, and I'm sure I've seen this movie appear on some of their like top 10 worst movie twist of all times list. I'm sure it's been on there, but I don't really ever let that type of stuff form my opinion on a film, so I still gave it a watch to see if I would still like the film. So with that being said, I still did enjoy watching this movie, but I see why people hate this twist so much because it does not make sense. Like, at all. It also makes you feel like you watched a good chunk of the movie for no reason because most of the shit technically never happened. I think the movie would be better without the twist, if we're being honest. The director low-key also like spoils the movie right at the beginning because we see Marie in the hospital and she's like battered and beat up and she's talking to the police. So I didn't even mention it because I just felt like it already gives too much away. So yeah, I just neglected to even mention that because that is kind of a spoiler. However, are there signs throughout the film that there is something off? Yes, there are. I do think that if they approached this differently, the twist would have come off better because they do a good job at showing signs that there is something wrong here. Here are a few signs that I caught. Number one, when Marie goes to check on Alex's mom after she slit her throat and cut her hand off, if you listen a little harder, it does sound like Alex's mom is saying why. Like she's asking Marie why she did this. So I feel like, you know, if you caught that, then that kind of gives it away that it's actually Marie doing all of this. Number two, how did the killer know that the keys were in the door? Because it was almost like the killer instinctively knew to come to the front door because the keys were in the door. Now we know that it was Marie. Marie knows that the keys are in the door. Number three, in the truck, Marie says something about other girls. How the fuck would Marie know that there were other girls? You don't know that. Number four, when the killer is talking to the gas station attendant, he he like touches the gas station attendant's hand in a very flirty or feminine way. I'm not saying that men can't do that, but I'm just saying that it makes sense as to why the gas station attendant did that, because it was actually Marie, and Marie was kind of like flirting with him, so to speak. And number 5, the most glaring, I would say, giveaways that there was something off were all of Marie's interactions with Alex. Alex never looked comfortable around Marie after she was tied up. When most of the time when Marie was talking to Alex, Alex never responded. So we can kind of assume that those interactions never happened. The main one that I wanted to point out was the one in the truck when Marie is telling her like, calm down, we're going to get out of this or whatever. Or she's like telling her to be quiet, and Alex just doesn't even acknowledge that and just lays down and continues crying. So that just kind of gives like that never even happened. I said at the beginning of the video that this movie is considered a bit controversial, and the twist is one of the many reasons people either love or hate this movie. I get where they were going, but the twist is extremely nonsensical when you think about the car chase, her being in 2 places at once, fighting the killer. It just doesn't make sense. Also, where does she get the truck, and how does she know her way around this place that she's never been to? I don't know. So it just doesn't make sense. Now, my main issue with this movie is I'm just going to read what I wrote for my Letterboxd review, because I feel like that kind of explains my immediate thoughts after watching the movie. Shake and bake on Letterboxd if you want to look at my stuff on there. I said, yet another horror film about a crazy, repressed, obsessed lesbian. I can't believe I watched this during Lesbian Visibility Week. And I fear that's exactly how I felt about that. Do not get me wrong. I do love the fact that evil lesbians are becoming a bit of a staple on this channel, but this trope is a little tired to me. No shade. I do give this movie grace because it was made back in 2003. So it's like, I understand why this is a thing, but there are so many movies like this at this point. There are even wrestling storylines that fall into this obsessive lesbian trope. And it's like, in real life, if we're being so for real right now, having a crush on your best friend makes you want to yourself more than anybody else.
Oh, that's not. In the sense.
So yeah, to recap, Marie is in love with Alex and has been repressing those feelings. She's disgusted with the idea of anyone loving Alex, including her family. So she created this serial killer persona to carry out the massacre so she can then play the hero and save Alex and make Alex fall in love with her or make Alex feel indebted to her. I don't know, but whatever. I also don't know how I feel about her other personality, her alternate being a creepy old murderous necrophiliac man. Hello. Like, I don't know how I feel about that. It's somehow transphobic and homophobic at the same time. Like, I really don't get that. It absolutely plays into like the same tired predatory lesbian trope where the lesbian is just pining after her straight best friend, and because her friend does not return those feelings, she kills her, when in reality that's something that straight men do. Okay. And who's normally writing and directing these types of stories? Straight, white, cishet men. That's who's doing it. Just saying, do not shoot the messenger. Let's just being honest. Someone in the comments of one of my videos literally like just asked me how I feel about queer villains. I just want to call back to some of what I said there because I do think that it fits here. I said I'm personally not against queer villains if it's done in a way that doesn't censor their queerness as the root of their evil. I am not necessarily a fan of mental illness being villainized either. There is such a big stigma on mental illness already, so it sometimes feels like it does way more harm and can be a bit lazy. So I think there could be a better way to portray queer villains rather than just falling back on mental illness, or the twist of the film being that the serial killer is trans, or in this case, a repressed lesbian. So that's how I feel on that. I don't hate the fact that we have queer villains because there are bad people that just happen to be queer, but they're not bad because they're queer. And I feel like these types of stories make it as though their queerness is what's making them evil and making them murderous psychopaths. Like, not really a big fan of that, but I do love a good evil lesbian. I do. The last controversy I came across while researching this movie was the plagiarism of it all. Many people have pointed out that this film shares a lot of similarities with Dean Koontz's novel titled Intensity. I've never read the book, so I did look up a synopsis and they are almost carbon copies. Two best friends go to one of their parents' house in a secluded area, and a serial killer comes and murders one of the friends' entire family. So I see why there is a little tension there, no pun intended, but there was something that I thought was messier, and that was Dean Koontz' reasoning as to why he wouldn't be pursuing any legal action towards the writer-director Alex Aja. I got this from Wikipedia, so take this with a grain of salt, but I'm messy. So it says that Dean wrote on his website that he wouldn't sue because he found the film so puerile, so disgusting, and so intellectually bankrupt that he didn't want the association with it that would inevitably come if he pursued an action against the filmmaker.
You ate that.
That's tea. Like, he did kind of eat that. Like, he ate him up. And I understand like why he would be upset, because it is kind of like, bro, you stole my whole fucking flow bar for bar. Like, yeah, I can see why he's upset. Now for the final question. Is this a good movie? Yes, all the way up until we get to the twist. I really wanted to like this one, but the twist really makes watching the events of the film feel like a waste of time. If I disregard the twist and just focus on all of the stuff leading up to that, yes, this is a very good movie. It lives up to the name, High Tension. I did know that the other title for it is called Switchblade Romance, so I kind of like that title better. It's a little corny, but I do like that title better. Yeah, I would say that the film was really good without the twist. I did love the sound design and the cinematography, and I love the shots that like foreshadowed Marie's split personality. There's a scene where the killer is taking Alex to the truck and Maria's like hiding in the shadows and half of her face is lit, foreshadowing this like split in her personality. Really like that. I do recommend you watch this if you haven't watched it already. And I'm sure this will not be the last time that we will talk about an evil lesbian on this channel. Thank you guys for watching today's video, and thank you to the lovely subscribers who recommended this film to me. I am very happy I got to cross it off my watch list, like I said before. Feel free to leave more recommendations if you like down below. I appreciate all of you guys' support on the last couple of videos. The family is growing faster than I could have possibly imagined, so thank you guys again. If you are one of my friends and family members watching, I love you, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.